Good evening, my Trinity family, the Orangeburg community, and beyond. Trinity United Methodist Church celebrates this January 156 years of its founding. The theme for 2022 is "The Movement Continues, Transformation Toward an Even Brighter Future." Our first congregation met in a schoolhouse built by the Freedoms Bureau until property was acquired on the corner of Amelia Street and Pittman Alley, now the site of the Orangeburg Courthouse. A building was erected and dedicated in 1870, facing Pittman Alley. Trinity has been a focal point for community service programs, and its members have been in the vanguard of civic improvement projects. Tonight, we celebrate the transformation of the Child Care Learning Center, an outreach ministry that has served the Orangeburg community for over 75 years. I cordially invite you to enjoy this journey of the past, present, and future of Trinity's Child Care Learning Center.
D.M. Zimmerman, Stewart, E. Thompson, A.C. Lewis, O.S. Quick, W. Newton Pugh, H.E. Caldwell, T.K. Blythewood, H.E. Frederick, and N.R. Austin were trustees of Trinity United Methodist Church and present when this building was purchased for $42,000. The deed was recorded and signed by Earl Middleton on July 12, 1971. We are still not quite certain where the center was prior to moving into this building, but we know it was someplace because the late Howard Davis was a student here. Maybe someone will help us to fill in that blank. Rooms are quiet and still at the moment, but 5 days a week, 4 teachers, a teacher assistant, and a director come to these same rooms and greet a group of bustling, energetic children. Young, fresh minds eager to participate in a fun-filled day. And teachers and staff go about the task of bringing together this arm of early childhood ministry of Trinity United Methodist Church. This is the Trinity Child Care Learning Center. What they do here is important in the lives of young children, developing the foundation for learning and moving forward. We often hear the phrase, "It's how you start," and that is so true. We are providing that good start. Verona Middleton, Freddie O'Brien, Juliet Floyd, Queen Braley, Myrtle McDaniel, Amelia Broughton, Irene McCollum, Nathaniel Badger, Samuel Nimmons, and many, many others have helped to shape this center. We're going to take you on a brief walkthrough and allow you to see what happens here on a day-by-day basis and to meet the staff. You're going to hear from a few leaders from the past as well as see through pictures some who have been through this center. Child care learning at Trinity United Methodist Church is alive and well, and we need to thank you for your continued support. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, staff, children, and parents, thank you for highlighting our program as a part of Founders Day 2022.
Hi, my name is Veronica Fields, and I'm an infant teacher at Trinity Learning Center.
Hi, my name is Jean Pendarvis. I'm a teacher assistant.
Hi, I'm Emma Coulter. Happy New Year 2022. I'm the 2-year-old Busy Bees teacher.
Hi, my name is Tia Jordan. I'm the lead teacher for the Happy Learns, which are the 2-year-olds. Hi, my name is Tracy Hamilton. I work here at Trinity Learning Center. I teach the 3 and 4-year-old children.
Hi, I'm Juanita Jameson, the director of Trinity Child Care Learning Center, and I'd like to thank the board for giving us a dedication for the church's Founders Day.
In this segment, we will hear from 3 individuals as it relates to the past, present, and future of the Child Care Learning Center. Please introduce yourself and tell us about some of your experiences working with the Child Care Learning Center.
I'm Juliet Marie Henderson Floyd. After retiring from Felton Laboratory School in 1998, I was approached by Dr. Robert Gordon, who was then the treasurer of Trinity, if I would take on the position as the financial secretary at the preschool. Well, I told Dr. Gordon at the time, let me ponder it and I'll get back with you. A few days later, I did approach him and told him I would try it. At my expense, I would only do it if I could state the time that I came in and how long I would work. Well, that worked out. I started at 9 o'clock in the morning and I would work until about 1 in the afternoon. And all I did was collect the tuition from the parents on a daily basis, and then it got to the point that I would do it maybe twice a week. I would write the receipts and give it to the parents. I don't recall actually how much the tuition was at the time. I've tried several tries to remember how much it was, but I just can't collect now. But I would write the amount and I would give the balance to them, and whatever they paid me, I would put it in a little envelope that I had, a zippered bank envelope, and at the end of the day, I would total the amount that I had collected from the parents, and I would do add it up on the adding machine, and at that time, everything was all manual. I didn't have a computer. I did it by hand. And so all I had collected for the day, I would take over to the office and with the tab and give it to the secretary. She made all of the deposits. I didn't have to do any of that.
My name is Emma M. Coulter, and experiences that I've acquired here at Trinity Learning Center. I first was 3.5 year dietitian. I did the 1-year-old room, the 2-year-old room, the 3-4-year-old room. I directed, and at the present, I'm the 2-year-old Busy Bees teacher. I also did the after-school program, as Queen Braley talked about, when it was an after-school program. So I was the designated driver to pick children up from Felton, Melisham, Whitaker, Clark, and Nix Middle School.
What would you say were some of the challenges you faced while working with the Child Care Learning Center?
The challenges that I faced were mostly dealing with the parents who didn't want to pay, the tuition. And it was like pulling teeth, I mean, sometimes, they would give me the full amount, and then other times, I would have to just chase them down for the full amount. But eventually, it would prevail and they would pay. But that was the biggest challenge that I faced when I was working at the Child Development Learning Center.
One of the main challenges I had, it was back in the day, the late Caroline Harrison, Marilyn Williams, who retired in 2021, and myself basically carried the Learning Center. We had teachers that were hired, and then they all left at different times, different intervals, different reasons. So being caretakers, our number one goal is to care for the children in spite of. So we persevered. One would go out and do the lunch. The other two would manage taking care of the children. I would always do the cooking, but we made sure that the parents were pleased, not knowing we were understaffed. The board assured us that if we could just hold on, help would be on the way. It didn't come when we wanted, but the help did come, and we persevered, knowing our duties was caring for these children.
What were some of the most rewarding parts of working with the Child Care Learning Center?
And then what I enjoyed about working with the center was the fact that I interacted with the parents and sometimes the students, you know. And I always enjoyed working with people. So that, to me, was the biggest enjoyment working at the Child Development Learning Center. Sometimes I would go to the kitchen and chit-chat with the dietitian, or I would go in the classrooms and kibitz with the children. So all of that was enjoyable to me during the time that I worked here.
Well, it's basically a testimony for me, but the rewarding part, as I stated, when I came to Trinity Learning Center, it was by accident. I accidentally turned into the parking lot. I was unemployed at the time, and I accidentally turned into the parking lot thinking I was going to the unemployment office. However, I ended up here. I was approached by these ladies, and they asked, what are you here for? And I said, I'm looking for work. And in their disbelief, not being in the paper at that time, they stated, we're not hiring. And I was okay with it. I left, and on that Sunday, they put the ad in the paper for a cook. I came, Ms. Braley, Queen Braley, she was my professor at South Carolina State, in which I'm an alumni of South Carolina State University. And Ms. Queen said to me, she said, Ms. Coulter, go and apply for that job. My minor is home economics, child development, early childhood. I applied, I got the job. I did it for 3.5 years faithfully. And that was one of the greatest achievements I had at the center, because as of this day, I'm still persevering through my ministry of cooking. My next one was the late Dr. Jameson Sr. He had his grandkids. Marion the fourth was 9 months old, and he stated, Ms. Coulter, you're such a good teacher in the infant room, and you seem like you're a jack of all trades. So my dream, Ms. Coulter, is for you to become a director. And before Dr. late Marion Jameson closed his eyes, I did that. I became a director, and I profoundly was grateful that he got to see it.
What are your hopes, wishes, and dreams for the future of the Child Care Learning Center?
At the top of my list is a new Child Development Learning Center. This center has been here for years and years and years. It has served Claflin University, it has served South Carolina State, and I just think it's time for an upgrade. I can remember when Michael Ellis worked so hard to try to get computers in this center. And we didn't have much success with those computers, I don't think. For a little while we did, and I don't know what happened, but you know, I wasn't here all the time. But I would like to see a computer kind of lab for the kids, because when they leave here and go into the public schools, and if they haven't been exposed to some of those things, they're kind of a step behind. And we want our children to be a step ahead, so to speak. So that's one of the things that I would like to see. I would like to see that Bible-based curriculum instituted in the center again. I know Ms. Coulter will agree with me 100%. That curriculum had so much to offer, not just for the children, but for the parents as well. There were leaflets that we could send out to the parents every week, and we got a lot of comments from the parents saying that, you know, I'm learning parts of the Bible because of what's included in that curriculum. I would like to see a stronger connection between the church and the Learning Center. I don't know, and I might be overstepping my bounds in saying, I don't think we connect enough with the center. I know our membership is down, and one way to kind of involve people is to let them know who you are, what you are, and where you're coming from. And I could see us at least quarterly or monthly, at least sending some kind of leaflet out to the parents, letting them know that we support you, we want you to know that we're here for you, and give them some spiritual advice. Even we could have a fundraiser and make sure that every parent is given an upper room once a month, so that they can keep up with the Bible and talk with their children. So much is happening today because we have gotten away from the Bible. We've gotten away from teaching children the basic concepts, and I think we need to move back to that. I also would like to see us establish some type of mathematics and language arts, English, for the preschool children, especially the 3 and 4-year-olds.
Well, right now, I would really like to see the Child Development Center become a new building. I know it's far-fetched, but it needs to expand, I think, you know. I mean, there need to be separate classrooms, for one thing. And I know that we work with a small budget, but maybe down the road somewhere, we'll think about expanding the building here at the center.
My hope for the Child Care Learning Center is to continuously grow with parents in the community as well as outside of the community that could have heard about us. Maybe someone brought a loved one or a relative by, had children here, knowing how good this learning center is, and we are basically, through Department of Social Services, a level BB, which is next to top, and I think and hope that it continues and we can even one day get to the top.
And I think if we can put forth the effort to help this learning center in promoting these kinds of things with children, our parents, the teachers, the church, and the community would benefit greatly from this type of thing.
On behalf of our minister, Reverend Dr. Eddie C. Williams, and the Founders Day Committee, I sincerely thank you for joining Trinity United Methodist Church of Orangeburg, South Carolina, for our 156th Founders Day celebration. Our theme, The Movement Continues, Transformation Towards an Even Brighter Future, recognizes Trinity's notable contributions through such outreach ministries as the Child Care Learning Center, the award-winning Boy Scout Troop number 190, and our rich heritage of discipleship, activism, and service. Our current edifice, listed in the National Register of Historic Places, was completed in 1944. About 4 years ago, our congregation embarked on the ambitious mission to restore our beautiful church to its original grandeur through our church restoration project. Much has been accomplished with the church's restoration project, the outreach ministries of the Child Care Learning Center, and Boy Scout Troop number 190. However, there is still more to do. We solicit your generous contributions to help in these endeavors. All funds raised for Founders Day will support the Restoration Project, the Child Care Learning Center, and Boy Scout Troop number 190. Again, thank you for supporting Trinity United Methodist Church. Please make checks payable to Trinity United Methodist Church for Founders Day, 185 Boulevard Street, Northeast, Orangeburg, SC 29115, or donate online via our website, www.trinityumcorangeburgsc.com. Click Give Online button on the lower left. Again, thank you for supporting Trinity United Methodist Church.